Ekiri eno mu Parliament mu kakiiko ka Muwanga Kivumbi Pac ka Public Accounts Committee Minisita wa Museveni Kyeyune Aluna Kasolo wa Microfinance bamufubutudde mu kakiiko kano ne bakulembera nabo abakulembeze ba Microfinance lwa bubbi babbe ensimbi z'omiwa omusolo. Ensimbi ezaatekebwa mu Microfinance zo Bannayuganda okwekulaakulanya okwewola abeekulakulanye ate Kyeyune Aluna Kasolo yazibba n'azikozesa bibye n'okukolamu embaga okukolamu ebintu eyo anoonya bululu campaign ensimbi z'omuwa omusolo nga zakozesa okukola ebibye mu faamu ye mu maka ge ebintu ebikasajje ng'omuntu nga tewali kintu simbi n'emu eyamba Munnayuganda kulaba nti nate yeekulaakulanya kyokka nga ate z'Abannayuganda ye n'azikozesa ng'omuntu. Ono nno bamufutuddemu emisinde mu kakiiko kano era afulumye tassa mwoyo era katugendeyo mu Parliament tubirabe engeri gy'amufubutudde olw'obubbi bwe obuguguze bwe abasajja babbi.
That supervises you to speak to this issue. So can I bring the committee, Honorable Minister, I can give you a minute, being a minister, to say a word or two. It's not
Honorable colleagues, for the wonderful work you are doing for this country. Chair, you have simplified my work when you invited me together with the board. Because me as the minister, I appoint the board to oversee and to, to conduct, to carry out policies and also to supervise the management of this entity. So I want, Chair, through you, I want to ask the Chair of the board to answer this query about risk management system or lack of expected loss policy.
Okay, before the board comes, I just wanted you to give just a brief remark. Thank you. Let me bring the committee to 1.1. Let's go back, all of us, to 1.1 and bring the committee up to speed. The board, and I'll read because it's so critical. The board of director and senior management are responsible for ensuring, that's why the board you are here. You are responsible for ensuring, this is the Auditor General that noted, for ensuring that the company has appropriate credit risk management policies, including an effective internal control system to determine adequate expected credit losses in accordance with IFRS 9 as well as company set policies. The ECL framework refers to a set of policies, procedures, and controls that are put in place to ensure the effective management of credit risk and accurate computation of expected credit losses. The ECL IFRS 9 standard requires the company to estimate the credit losses over the life of the financial instrument based on the credit risk and future economic conditions, among others. The governance framework includes policies and procedures for credit risk management, credit risk assessment, credit risk measurement, credit risk reporting, credit risk mitigation. It also involves credit risk monitoring and modeling. A review of expected credit losses indicate the following. When he did the following, there was no documented ECL policy and consequently no approval of the same by the board of directors. There is no documented probability of default PD workings. The company does not have an operational manual to guide in working and estimation of loss given credit default GLGD. The exposure of of default, EAD, probability of default, PD, and the overall ELC workings. ECL workings. Contrary to the best practices of having an ECL committee that is charged with overseeing the implementation of ECL workings, no such committee was in place. The absence of the ECL policy and operation manual hinders independent assessment of the ECL computations, assessment of underlying accumulations, assumptions, and the modeling undertaken. The company is also exposed to the risk of failure to effectively manage the ECL measurement in the event of change in staff that are currently involved in computations and modeling. The accounting officer explained, the rest is history. So this is the heart of what you do. And you've been in existence for 20 years. Is it 20 years now? Thereabout. And it's a core function of a board. Where we find you at the board, you slept on the job for all this long, and you are exposing public resources. Direct charge. We find you unfit to be, we may recommend that a new body be instituted that can manage this institution in accordance to the law and regulations. It's not just coming to answer. You've got to account why for all this long you are there, you are not doing your work. So, Honorable Minister, I don't know who now, that's the gravity of why we have you and the board. And after this, I think we'll let you go. The rest are management issues that the accounting officer can handle.
Chair of the board, you need to inform the committee which policy have you been using, because of course now I see that the Auditor General noted that is a draft ECL policy that has been developed and will be approved this year. So now, Chair, you inform the committee how have you been operating to mitigate the losses of the company.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, Honorable Chair, and Honorable Members of Parliament. Again, my name is Emmanuel Kiza Aliba. That at that time, when the Auditor General came to audit us, we did not have this approved policy in place. That is a fact, Honorable Chairman.
Which policy?
The expected credit lending risk management framework. We did not have it. But work had started by management. And as we talk now, the committee of the board is finalizing it. And in our next board sitting, we are going to approve this policy. I would like to confirm to you, Honorable Chair, that with effect from the 1st of July, we shall be following this new policy. However, we have a number of policies in place that we have been following in the management of finance. These accounting policies, we have them there. So we have not been guessing around. This is a modern one where we want to go, and microfinance is really open so that we go modern also. So, Chair, I confirm that within the next year, we shall be in business.
Honorable colleagues, yes. So you are also speaking like a draft is in place. And the other thing is that it has taken you this long. Yet, as the board, This is your core thing to ask. Must it take the Auditor General to move you? Because they are fundamental. The Speaker of Parliament here has got rules. He has got a constitution. When you are sworn in as an MP, you are given a constitution, you are given rules of procedure. So there is no way a session of Parliament can be conducted without those basic instruments. But for you, you've been happy, you've been sitting, you know, and these things are not in place. And not only you, even other bodies before you. Because we are told you are not the first board. Okay, let me have members.
Mr. Chairman, thank you so much. We hear the chairman of the board on page 6 of the accounts. Page 6 of the accounts on the statement of directors' responsibilities. And paragraph 2, and these are the accounts which you signed, which the auditor audited and found such anomalies. We indicate that directors accept responsibility for the preparation and fair presentation of the financial statements in accordance with the International Financial Reporting Standards and in the manner required by the Uganda Companies Act 2012. They also accept responsibility down. Now the last 2 paragraphs.
But you can read, they are very critical to read to them.
Yes.
Maybe this
They also accept responsibility for 1, designing, implementing and maintaining such an internal control as they determine is necessary to enable the preparation of the financial statements that are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. 2, selecting and applying appropriate accounting policies. 3, making accounting estimates and judgments that are reasonable in the circumstances. The directors are of the opinion that the financial statements give a true and fair view of the financial position of the company as of 30th June 2023 and of its financial performance and cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with International Financial Reporting Standards (IFRS) and the requirements of the Uganda Companies Act. In preparing these financial statements, the directors have assessed the company's ability to continue as a going concern. Nothing has come to the attention of the directors to indicate that the company will not remain going concern for the next 12 months for the date. The directors acknowledge that the independent audit of the financial statements does not relieve them of their responsibilities. Mr. Chairman, the preparation of accounts, the preparation of statements, financial statements, is directly under the responsibility of the board of directors. Therefore, if you come and acknowledge here, and yet you come to tell us that the expected credit loss framework or policy is not in place, and you have been working for all this time, how do you estimate reasonably the credit loss that you provide in your books? And this credit loss depends on so many parameters. One of the parameters is the probability of default. Now, the auditor, what is raising that whatever model you are using and computing the expected credit loss now is not documented. It's being done by people. Now, if this person goes tomorrow and there is no document to follow, the person who comes will have no history or basis of what should do. That's why companies or institutions should have these manuals and frameworks and policies in place, so that they guide whoever comes, not that whoever does it goes with it. So, me, Mr. Chairman, I think the query is sustained. I don't think the chairman has really given a reasonable explanation that they have a draft and by next 1st June it will be in place. Yet they have been there and they should have done it earlier than that. I thank you.
Any other colleague?
Procedure, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Our rules of that we dress appropriately when we are in Parliament, especially in the committees of Parliament. And the minister before us is a member of Parliament. And I may interest him to Rule 82, subsection 1, starting from A for male members, a suit, a shirt, a tie, a pair of long trousers with a jacket. Are we proceeding well to be with a member of Parliament before us, a minister in that matter, dressed like he is in his farm or traveling somewhere to... are we proceeding well, Mr. Chairman? Because this is Parliament sitting.
I take note of that procedure.
Ties.
No, one is without a tie. The doctor here is without a tie. Both sides have issues, but Ladita, I don't know whether that is also
Mr. Chairman, there is a provision for African wear, the different traditional wear, but the minister is not on the traditional wear, neither is he in...
Yes, but being a Monday and Honorable Colleague procedure for my ruling, I have taken a note, Honorable Minister, next time, be aware of the provision of the law. And Monday will not be another excuse. I hope you don't get him. He doesn't have a constituency. He's trying to find one. So I will not pray for you because you will replace a NUP member. But that's for another day. Honorable colleagues, I think you
duties or mandate. They operate through committees.
Yes.
And one of the committees is a committee. So I want to ask you, Chair of the board. Now, without this policy framework, do you have a committee? Do you have committees? You are operating first of all, then do you have a committee of this? Because it is part of the...
Thank you, Honorable Chairman. We do have 4 committees, and the establishment of committee, ECL committee, is going to be after the approval of the ECL policy. So as soon as it is approved, immediately we have a basis for a new committee. As of now, the function is being run by the finance committee.
Just imagine that an entity has gone on for 20 years without that committee. Speak to a committee from that paradigm, from anchor yourself from that standpoint.
Honorable Chairman,
maybe Mr. Chairman, we want a chairman of the body. Is this a new creation or something which is coming to your knowledge now?
No, we had started the process, but we had not concluded the process. We have been, if you could possibly, Honorable Chairman,
no,
the controls.
No, there are board issues.
Yes.
We want boards. That's why for most agencies now we have gone for boards. All because you are mandated. You've said you are mandated to ensure this. His failure is responsible for not moving the board, but you are the board chair and all your honorable colleagues.
Honorable Chair, we have been having other policies to manage.
An apology suffice for you. Is it beyond you?
I apologize that it is not in place
formally. Please, can I tell you how we say from apology? I'll take you there and take you through how and say, because you are speaking as if you know it is business as usual, I'm just telling you by July it will be done, but it's 20 years and your call of duty.
Honorable Chairman and members, I would like to apologize on behalf of the board that this place at the time of audit we do not have it, and we have corrected that mistake, and by next year, financial year July, I promise that it will be in place.
How many days to July?
It's a month because we are going to see.
No, I've said days. I've not said months. I've said days.
We are now in June, so at the end of, we have a board sitting and at the end of June.
At the end of June?
Yes. And
do you have a draft now?
Yes, we do.
Can you lay it on table?
Have you come? Yeah. Yes, we have not carried it. We shall present it.
You know, even the draft was promised the other time. Now you've not, but you are saying, and you have a few days. If you don't have more than 39 days to the end of the year, and you are saying 1st July.
Yes, only we have a board meeting.
Mr. Chairman, this office is not a distance from here. Members, would you like to send someone to pick this document so that we have it? Because this business of moving back and forth is not going to be helpful to us. These are some of the documents we requested for, and they knew they had promised here that they have a draft. And I thought they should have carried that draft to present before this committee, because it would be proof that they really have a draft. But by coming without it, it means something else. Mr. Chairman, I beg that they send someone to bring that document. Failure to do that, then we shouldn't even take their responses. Maybe we take their responses on oath, because they are beginning to play around with the committee. Mr. Chairman, I beg to submit.
Chair, can I apologize that we did not carry the draft, but we requested the committee to proceed. We are going to present this draft to the clerk before close of business today.
Mr. Chairman, the clerk doesn't manage the sittings of this committee. The sittings of this committee are very, very clearly chaired, requesting that we have this draft before us. We want to look at it as a confirmation that what you told us.
Yes, I did not understand. The chairperson of the board said that they are going to sit as a board to approve the policy such that by the 1st they are following it strictly. Was it like that? And if it is so, who approves the policy legally? And that's why chairman is saying, can we have an evidence of the draft? Thank you.
Yes, Chair.
Would like to beg that we submit the draft to your office before the close of business today.
You're keeping up with the promise of bringing documents, but being that you're board chair and in the presence of a minister, we'll hope you are decent, honorable Ugandan, hope by end of today, close of business, we should have received a draft copy.
Thank you, Chair.
And we want to take it by 1st of July. You are going to keep this meeting committee. We are not a sector committee, but for purposes of following up this one, at the end of your meeting, give us a minute of that session where you have approved those drafts. You are saying, so that means before 30th of this month, we shall receive a minute of a session you have chaired where you have adopted this report and put it in place.
I promise you, Honorable Chairman.
The record I've captured, I have that lady there with the computer. She told me she's answered. She's from Hansard section. Every statement we say here is on record. Honorable Minister, could we say that query, is that okay? We proceed, honorable colleagues?
we can't proceed when we have not received the necessary.
The query is sustained. The query is sustained, it's not dropped. They don't have the
Thank you,
ECA, so the query is sustained. But going forward, first sitting of this parliament, that this is so critical, we cannot ignore an institution which will allocate hundreds of billions of shillings every single year to be with us. And your core work is based on that. And the PS, it goes without you, much as the minister is there, you are the accounting officer. Actually, we should have taken you on this issue. I say, how could you let this happen? But you have a bigger. Now we go to. Can we proceed? That was somehow okay. Yeah, my document is there, which I wanted.
Chair, new standard.
Yes.
And before there has been other standards used for estimating the impairment of financial instruments. But they also need to note that these policies normally evolve with an intention of mitigating different challenges whenever they come at a time. So we may not blame them for having over 20 years not put in place, because every time these policies are reviewed to mitigate against the challenge that evolve. But it's important now that it's there, you must have it.
It's important you can be around the Honorable Minister and the board. Somehow it's very important to sit in.
Chair, like I had suggested, today being a cabinet concerns wealth creation, I requested that you excuse me and go and attend the cabinet. But the chair and the board will be here, because even at MEC they represent me.
All right. Okay, you excused. Implementation 2.0, honorable colleagues. Implementation of the budget. Now, this very report, audited here, it's not here. It's not a trial balance. There's nothing much this committee can do. Do you have those reports, sir? Here, accounting officer, you committed and gave a guarantee that you will ensure that these documents are brought to this committee.
I request that the ED responds to the issue surrounding the availability of documents. Our complicity in providing the list of beneficiaries or clients that they are also operating under the Data Protection and Privacy Act of 2019, that they operate as a bank and they have a duty to protect.
Order, Mr. Chairman, order.
Chair, I request for protection so that I finish my explanation.
Mr. Chairman, order.
Order.
Is trying to maneuver ways to think that this committee does not appreciate which institutions under that act. What privacy is he trying to insinuate here when they come for money in the open? It is not a confidential budget that we always appropriate for some institutions. This is taken openly. So why does it become an issue when it comes to accountability? Can he inform this committee? Is in order to begin claiming that the private sector foundation is now an institution that we can also take as that cannot be audited by Parliament? Is in order.
Chair,
He moved the point. She asked for a point of order. Absolutely, microfinance is not a classified institution. Nor are your accounts classified. Nor do you consume classified assets, nor do you run classified expenditure. The people who may be a schedule of creditors is not among the documents. But even if it were, our rules of procedure can address confidentiality clauses. Because one, you would beg to present it in camera, but present it. Because that's the other avenue, where you feel like the information you are to give, and you must demonstrate before you ask for to have a camera in session where you take away the press. You must demonstrate beyond reasonable doubt that the information will kind of be detrimental to the running of the institution, and it will cause insecurity to other people. But people who have borrowed from an institution which is publicly funded on a public pass, whose mandate is to give credit and grants very clearly, and you give credit, and I borrowed this from circles, from whatever. We're so critical about it. We cannot run. Sure. So your submission does not suffice, sir.
Nakaziba, Woman of Parliament for Vuma District. Chair, I remember last time it's me who asked for that document, and I remember he tried to explain the same he's trying to explain now. And he read and he said anything that is confidential, the rules allow you or allow us to treat it as confidential. So I don't know why the accounting officers are doing, and they accepted to bring the document. I don't know why again he's trying again to play around with the other time he accepted. What he should do is to provide the document now.
Honorable Chair, like I did indicate earlier, that we have an executive director in charge of Microfinance Support Center, and the board also supervises.
Okay, let's go slowly by slowly, sir. You can't give, the accountants are here. Honorable Taiwa and myself, I always speak for what I'm not, he's a doctor. But you cannot submit accounts and they are complete without a trial balance. Can you?
Mr. Chairman, a trial balance is where all the transactions that take place in an institution are summarized. And it is from the trial balance that we prepare all these financial statements, or what we call accounts. So it is very paramount. You will never find any figure in the financial statements which does not come from the trial balance. And in our elementary accounting, a trial balance must balance, where the debits must balance with the credits. The difference in preparing financial statements, that figures in the trial balance, some go to the income statement or the profit and loss for that matter, some go to the balance sheet or the statement of financial position, right? And that's how they are separated. But it's true, Mr. Chairman, you cannot have financial statements without a trial balance.
So as with Mr. Account, we don't have your financial statements because in the document you submitted, there is no trial balance. And Mr. Honorable Mudini, read the other section of the responsibility of the account. Is it on page what? On the financials.
Mr. Chairman, Honorable Taiwa read to the chair, because this is
page 6, this one, statement of directors' responsibilities. There's one for the accounting officer. Anyway, without much ado.
Mr. Chairman, in this case,
yes,
you read. The directors are responsible to them. The difference is that the chief executive officer is one of the directors.
Is the director. So, in 6, there is no relevant audit information which the auditor is unaware of, and each of the director has taken all the steps that want audit information and to establish that the audit is and you signed for the thoroughness, completeness, liability accounts. Now, how can those accounts be thorough, credible, reliable, and you sign excluding a page of a trial balance, which as Honorable Taibata, because on this we rely on our professionals to speak to professions, to the language you will appreciate. Me being from general economics, I'm not an accountant. So he has told you there is no trial balance without, there are no accounts without a trial balance, even if for a kiosk.
Yeah. So that the team that is involved on a daily in operations of the Microfinance Support Center, and in this case I request the executive director to speak to that, because they are the ones who prepare.
Let's go step one late. We first want a trial balance. How sensitive is that? Because and no names.
Thank you, Chair. I'm John, the Mwebembezi, the head of finance. Chair, we have the trial balance, and the trial balance is not supposed to be part of the audit report. It's only used by the auditors, like Honorable Taiwo explained. All the transactions summarized. And
let me stop you, sir. We have not interacted with any entity, be it State House, be it Defense, be it any office that has submitted financials without a trial balance that is computer generated. We don't even want this one of spreadsheet. So don't take that route, sir.
Mr. Chairman, to display this information out, why don't we just give them over to police, because police keeps records and it knows what to do with. They can take their statements, they can actually provide that information, because police knows how to treat confidentiality. If they think that this committee is not worthy.
Honorable colleagues, first to do this job, and you have the trust of this institution, we are not going to substitute our role and give it to police. We can send people to police after analyzing there is fraud, there is a criminal intent. For now, we don't have any proof that there is fraud, there is a criminal intent. You send the information for what?
Chair Microfinance, but I know they have an accounting system.
Okay.
Which they can print the trial balance. And the reason why, yes, it's true, the trial balance is not part of the financial statements. But it is also true that the trial balance is an accompanying document that can actually support your financial statement. And for this reason, that's why many times when you are making these queries, you are attaching different documents to support your accounts. So we need it, they can provide it, they can delete it from the system. We need it for our own verification if we are to engage whether it supports the information in the financial statements.
You know this, today I have very little time, I'm doing many agencies.
No, Chair.
Do you have anything useful to add on? You're a board member?
No, I'm head of finance.
You're head of finance.
Yeah.
Do you have anything useful to add on in this regard?
No.
Can you provide us with the trial balance?
Yes, I will provide it, Chair.
Can you work with the Honorable Susan to your office and get us a trial balance? Where is your office?
Nakasero Road.
But you see, the other guy sent you with officers. You never got these documents. Let's be sent you with those officers. Okay, you don't have a trial balance. The second document we want. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, it may be for clarity. Finance Director, and therefore my role ends between the people of Amuria, the people of Uganda, here in this house, not in the office of the Director.
I appreciate. I've reversed that. Budget performance report for the last 2 years. Is that document? Do you have it?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, the last time we were advised by the Honorable Member to actually carry the budget, the detailed budget, and that is the document that we have.
A detailed
budget
for performance report.
But Chair, those are two different things.
Yes, I know the budget.
Yes, so they clarify that we actually bring the budget. And that is what we have.
Chair, a budget is to look at that so that we can compare it with what government budgeted and gave out. But the budget performance report is that over time, as you perform, you have your actual performance against the budget. So at the end of the financial year, even when government has released less, than what it had budgeted, then it's you to show that government released this, but the actual performance is this, and that's what we're interested in at the beginning of the year. But over time, you must be giving reports to the board on how you're performing by making a comparison of the budget and the actual performance, and actually reflecting the variance and giving reasons for the variance why you have performed different from what was estimated. So we can look at the budget performance report, though they have the budget, because the budget is an estimate at the beginning of the financial year.
Yes, Chair. Budget performance report or is audited by the Office of the Auditor General, and we are going to produce those reports.
Because those ones, if I want, I will get them.
Yes.
Let me tell you about budget performance report. They are before Parliament. I can go to the Auditor General. And this committee will not proceed with you without those documents.
Chair, will request that you allow the team to bring all those documents before this afternoon on camera.
In the camera?
Yes, Chair. Most especially the list of the clients.
From Tororo and a member of this committee. Chair, it's very unfortunate that we have so many agencies
First
to deal with.
Introduce yourself, then Susan,
I have done so. That we have a lot of entities to deal with. But here is one entity that is appearing before us for the third time. And every time information is asked, then it's not there. Then they come without the substantive ED. Now you are here without documents. We are wasting time. And now you are saying before the cameras, you want to present this without the cameras. When you present a report there and hand over the list to the chair, does the camera look into what you are presenting? Does it do so? So please don't direct this committee on what it should do. We are also sensitive. We also know that certain things should be kept confidential. So don't tell us what to do, Chair.
Honorable colleagues, I want come on that list. Today, 4. Come on that list. with all the documents we have asked for. I have agencies good enough from the ministry. Please, I will meet, you are coming back here with the board, okay? And everybody well constituted with the information we want at 4.
Chair, the other time did you talk?
But you hand it over. So, at 4, come back with that list, with all the information you have asked for. Can we have another agency? Say it's Uganda National Oil Company.
In the chair, we have UNOC and EPRC, sir.
Bwe bityo embeera bweri wano Palamenti Pac Central Public Accounts Committee, Minisita Kasolo ne tiimu ye eya Uganda Microfinance babafubutudde ensimbi bazibulankanya. Minisita akolamu embaga tebaziraba gye ziri, tebamanyi ngeri za spending bwamu, bawoza mbona ate biri confidential, tebagala kubiraga kubanga bamanyi sente minister azikwata nazikolamu embaga, kati tebagala kulaga nsi tino sente z'omusola ate minister azikolamu embaga. Kale bino bisesa busesa n'ennyambala gye zayambadde naye siseza abantu azenga agenda okulunda ente. Ana basajja batujoze batumanyidde ne bayitiriza ne bayitawo n'okuyitawo, balabanga ba kitalu, balaga balina amaenyi, balina obuyinza, balina essente, ate munabagamba ki, munabakola ki? Uganda tulabe tumanyiddwa batayi bange, naye byebyo bwe bityo bitambudde. Mbagala nnyo mwena abaliko banamu bali kubaako, tulina okuzimba eggwanga naye osobola kumanya, it's better to know obubanga omanyi buli kimu kitambula bulungi. Omukama bakuume banange mweraba.